Hello, sisters, and hello, Nina.
Hello, Michal.
Nina Wictorin, is this how you say your name?
Yeah, in Swedish it's Wictorin.
Wictorin.
So almost right, Wictorin.
Okay. Wictorin.
Yeah.
So I wanted to come here today to share, well, I was thinking we're all painting so much and we have so many paintings, and what do we do with all the paintings? And also, how do we sell them? And I was seeing Nina. She's the sister in our group. You probably know her bridge series and beautiful paintings. And I was just amazed by how she sells them. It seems, Nina, like you were selling a lot of paintings. So I'd love to hear from you some tips. But before we get into the tips of how it happened and how you are doing it, maybe you can tell us a little bit how long you're painting and how did you get to painting, and just lead us to how you came to even sell them.
Sure. Yeah, I guess I've kind of always painted since I was a little girl. But I started painting regularly around 2017 because of circumstances at the workplace I was at then. Which led to me having a lot of more time all of a sudden. So then I just thought, what am I going to do with all this time? And then I just realized that now I have time to start to paint more often, that I always dreamed about. But, you know, life got in the way and I didn't have the time before. So I just started to paint, and I started to watch a lot of YouTube videos about techniques. And then I found Michal's YouTube channel. And I was like amazed, and I was like, oh, I want to learn how to paint like that. And then around that time, I also found your moon magic course, Michal. So I decided to take that online course, and I was totally like, I don't even have words. I just loved that course, and then I just couldn't stop painting. So I've been painting more and more regularly since then. I just couldn't stop. So, and then I was started to think like, this is something I really want to start making money from, and like maybe do for a living even. Well, I didn't think that at first, but that came like after a while. So yeah, and then one thing led to another. I lost my job like so many other people due to COVID. Like around a year ago. So all of a sudden I had even more time to focus on my art, and that really paid off because I started to notice like that the more work you put into actually finding people who want to buy your paintings, they do. So, but it takes quite a lot of time and effort. So it doesn't happen by itself.
What do you do? I mean, how do you get to people?
Well, around the same time that I started to take my painting seriously a couple of years ago, because I have quite a big social network on social media. So I did that anyway. I just shared like every time I finished a painting. I shared it in Facebook groups mostly, and I have an Instagram account, a business Instagram account for my art. So, and also a good tips is to when it comes to Facebook groups, don't just share your paintings in groups for painters or artists. Find groups that focus on, you know, for me, it's like my paintings are quite spiritual, the subjects. So I found some Facebook groups, mostly in Swedish, but for people who are interested in spiritual issues. That's not focused on art. And that's how I started selling to some people who just contacted me after they saw my painting there. Oh, is that for sale? And I loved your painting. And so that's how it kind of started. And also a while ago, I started my own Facebook group. It's called Art by Nina Wictorin. Because I realized that more people, it's something about the Facebook algorithm, like more people see it, what you post, if you post it in your own group. So there I sold some paintings.
How did you get people to come to your group?
Good question. I don't even remember. I think I shared it on like my personal page on Facebook. And the link, you can just copy when you're in your own group, you can copy the link and then you can share it on other places. So I think I did that, and probably I shared it on my, I have a business page for my art on Facebook as well. That is something other than my personal account. So I think I probably shared it there too. And yeah, and then it just started to grow.
It feels like you're doing it effortlessly. You know how I feel you through Facebook. It doesn't look like you're.
Maybe it started that way. But then to start to sell regularly, which I really did like last year, basically was the best year so far for me. Then it takes more effort. Like maybe it seems effortless, but I spend hours and hours on social media posting. Like every time I finished a new painting, I spend like hours sharing it in like so many groups, some for artists on Facebook and some for, like I just mentioned, like special interest group, like people who are into spirituality and that. And then I have to answer all the comments because there are a lot of comments of people who like them. And then I like the people who are most enthusiastic there in the comments in the Facebook group. Then I sometimes write them a little reply to the comment and say, oh, did you know that I have my my own Facebook group and I have my Instagram, and if you're interested to see more of my work, here's the link to my I don't have a website. I'm on a platform, a Swedish platform for artists where you can have like a page. It's like a website, but it's on a platform. So I send the link to that, and that's how I sold quite a lot of paintings to people who already commented on my painting in a group. So that's how I know they might be interested in actually buying it. So that works, but it takes a lot of time. Actually, you have to, like usually, yeah, some hours after I finish the painting, it takes to post it in all these little groups. And also, yeah, on Instagram, I'm quite active too. And then I don't just paint I don't just post the painting with like title, technique, measurements. I also write little stories because about what inspired me to make the piece, and because people love that, I noticed. And that's a good way to make like a personal connection with people, which I think is also very important. To make people trust you. And I don't do it may sound like, oh, I write little stories about my painting just to sell them, but no, it's not like that. I love writing little stories about my paintings. And people are fascinated by artists. I noticed, like they really want to know you. And for me, because my paintings have like this spiritual messages, it's quite easy for me to tell a little story about. I think it was you actually, Michal, who I didn't realize that before, but you commented on, like, I don't know, 2 years ago or something about the painting. Oh, Nina, it seems like you're really channeling or something like that. Because often, like, I get like little images in my head. I don't know how to describe it when I start a painting and I it's like a message from somebody who wants to be painted. I can't really explain it, but
yeah, I think that most of us in our circle in Art is My Medicine works like this, and we get messages. Yeah. And I feel like the work of the artist is so important nowadays because we do bring something, and I feel like I myself am remembering, you know, through the paintings, things are being revealed to me, like who I am, who we really are, and the medicine. Yeah. It's really medicine, and we are medicine, really. I
think so too. Yeah.
And the messages behind the paintings, to share them, not to be shy. And so many of us think we're not good enough, we didn't study enough, but I've seen people, you know, as a teacher or facilitator, that I've never painted before, and they come and they work from this deep connection, and I'm blown away. It's like, you don't have to be like a great learned artist, you know, to bring this energy through you.
I
And
know, yeah. It's like, for me, it's really like a spiritual practice, my painting. So I get these messages from, I don't know, somewhere the other side, or I don't know, some other realms. And then I just paint them. And people love stories like that. So they're fascinated to hear. They always want to know, oh, what inspired you? So I took advantage of that. And because I love to write, I'm a writer, I love writing. So that part kind of comes natural to me. So that's kind of how it started, just because I was already like quite active in social media, and I make little movies on Instagram, like reels. And what's the other one called? Yeah, video is really important too.
yeah.
To mix like normal post with just a still image, and little videos with music. Music is really good. So just to draw people in and make them curious about your art. And
Yeah, and
so
if you're feeling shy, you can just take a video of your painting and say something or put some music, and people
yeah,
respond to it. They love it.
that's what I mostly do. I rarely take a film myself talking. I don't think I didn't ever do that.
It's so crazy
I did.
because on Instagram and Facebook, you open it and it just all these faces talking to you. It's like, I don't want to hear.
I know. I know. I think I made like a few little videos on Facebook and maybe Instagram too, where you can hear my voice. Like before an exhibition last year, I think I did that. I just nothing fancy. I just put a couple of paintings on my floor and filmed them and just talked a bit about the artworks that people were going to be able to see in that exhibition. And so, yeah.
And I'm curious about pricing. How do you price your paintings, and how do you feel about the prices? And you know, I mean, there are a lot of questions from the sisters, and how to sell, how much to charge, how to feel comfortable with the price.
Yeah, that was quite difficult when I first started out. I remember, I think it is for most people, because you're so insecure about like, am I good enough? And help. Are people really gonna want to pay me for this? My little hobby kind of thing. But then I think what I first did when I started to sell them on the Swedish platform I mentioned, I just looked around that platform for on other people's art, and I tried to find paintings about my size and with similar how do you say, compositions, and just looked how much are they charging for their works. So, and then I decided to do something similar to them. And then I just gradually, when I started that my painting noticed that my painting started to sell. Now I usually raise the prices once a year. At first, the first time I did that, I think I just took some random figure, like not so much, maybe like $10 or something was the rise. And now I just did it now, this year's price rising. And then I think I decided, yeah, 10%. I decided to rise everything, all the paintings.
Could you give us an example, like of a painting and a price, like from two of the paintings behind your back, like on the wall there is a small one and the one.
Yeah, the small ones that you see on the wall, those are from a series of small paintings I did for an exhibition last year. So those small ones, they are, what's that in dollars?
What's the size of them? Is it like 30 by 20 or something like this? Centimeters?
In centimeters it is, let me just check because I don't remember.
You can say inch. You can also say inch.
Yeah, no, I don't know inch.
Okay.
In centimeters, which is what we use in Sweden. Yeah, those small ones are 27 by 35 centimeters.
37 by 35
centimeters. Yeah, so I don't know what that would be in.
It's not the smallest one on your wall, it's the medium ones.
Yeah, the medium one, like the one with the bridge highest up. That one is, let me see. if I can find
Yeah, I
it
think it will help
here.
us figure out the prices also when we hear like you how much you sell.
Yeah,
And that
I'm
people
just gonna,
don't. Yeah, well, I'll let you figure
I'm
out the
gonna
numbers.
try to find that one. Where is it? There. It's called Beyond the Dream. Yeah, and it's 46 by 55 centimeters. So for those of you who are into inches, you can just Google that and you'll find it. 46 by 55 centimeters. So it's kind of like medium sized. And it's 4,300 Swedish kroner, which would be like something like around $430, I guess. Something like that.
That's amazing.
And for the this one behind me, the
it's
magician.
like 1 meter by 1 meter.
Yeah, not quite, almost, but it's a bit smaller than that. Let me see. Yeah, 70 by 70 centimeters, which is a bit smaller than 1 times 1 meter. And that one is, what would that be in dollars? Like around $620, something like that. Yeah, so. Yeah. And I think I figured when I raised the prices now recently this year, because I sold quite a lot of paintings last year. It went so well. Like yeah, so then I thought, because people want them more, then I have to raise the prices a bit more too. So you get confident after a while when you notice, like I was totally insecure too in the beginning before I had sold my first painting. But then when you realize, I think it's really important not to undervalue yourself and your work, because it takes quite a lot of work, right, to make a painting like that. So, but I can I tell you a little short story I have about, yeah, which was really funny. It happened like a couple of weeks ago, and it's about a sale. I never thought would happen. So it's a woman who found me in one of those spiritual Facebook groups I was talking about, where I post my art regularly. So that's how she found me. And then she has followed me there and also on Instagram for like, I don't know, a year or 2 years, something like that. And she comments regularly on everything I post. And yeah. Anyway, then I just got a mail from her right after Christmas, where she said, what are your opening hours and when can we come and visit you? Me and my friend want to come to your studio. So and I was like, oh, I don't really have any opening hours. I work at home. So this is where I paint, but sure, you can come. You're welcome. When do you want to come? And then we decided a date. Then it turned out that she lives like 500 kilometers from here, way up in Sweden. But then it turned out that she and her friend wanted to take the train here just to come and see my paintings. Wow. Yeah, and at first I thought they were like going to visit someone they knew here or do something else here, but they came just to see my and stayed at the hotel. And wow. So one Saturday we decided they came here, and I offered them some snacks and some coffee, and we walked around and I showed them like all my paintings in every room here. And they ended up, the woman who mailed me, she bought one of my, actually the most expensive painting I ever sold.
Wow, how much, can I ask?
Yeah, let's see, Swedish kronor, 701, probably a bit more than $700, that would be. Yeah.
Nina, it was like you can raise your prices now.
Yeah, now I just did, but now I thought maybe I should have risen, how do you say, more? But yeah, I don't want to rise them too often either, because but anyway, then her friend, she also wanted to buy a painting, but she wanted to think about it. She saw one that she really liked, and she said if she could think about it, and then if she wanted to buy it, I could just ship it to her later. And I thought, okay, well, probably she's not going to buy it. But then a couple of days after they went home, I got an email from her. Oh yeah, I decided I really want that painting. Can you ship it to me? Sure. Oh. So yeah, so that's just a little story about how you have to be patient even if it seems from the beginning that, oh, why am I spending all this time on social media? But it can be like this, like someone follows you for 1 year, 2 years, and then suddenly when they trust you and see that you're really productive and you sell to other people, and they decide, boom, I want to buy a painting.
Yeah, it can
So
happen after a few years even.
exactly. I think it's all about relation building, and I'm quite a social person. So it comes natural to me to build relationships with people, and I quite enjoy it. So it's not something I do just because I have to. And I have another. Do you have time? Can I tell another little story like this? Because I think it might be interesting to people. When I was 15, I took part of this like youth exchange program for Swedish people, teenagers who wanted to go and stay with an American family in Cincinnati, Ohio for like a month during the summer. So I did that when I was 15, and I spent a month in an American family in Cincinnati. And then I after that summer, I kind of lost contact with them. And then because of Facebook and internet and all that, like a couple of years ago, the mother of that family found me on Facebook. So we reconnected. And since then, we've been like talking now and then, following each other on Facebook. And that family was always really interested in art. So when they realized, oh, Nina is painting now, they've become like returning collectors, the whole family of my paintings. So it started by, I think, the son of the family, David, who is now adult, my age, lives in California. He and his wife discovered that I paint. So, oh, can we buy one of your paintings for the wife's mother? Sure. So I sent it over there. And then a while later, they wanted to buy another painting because his wife has 7 siblings and they're all into art and they like to gift each other with paintings, those siblings. So they bought a painting for her sister. And then the mother of the family, Diane, who first found me, still lives in Cincinnati. Then she wanted a painting because she likes the bridge series of my paintings where I paint bridges. And now I just, like a couple of weeks ago, I shipped a second bridge painting to her. So she started to collect them. So that's also like a little story about how people you knew like ages ago and that you just reconnected with on Facebook.
Do you also have a website where you have prices and paintings?
Yeah, I have the platform, the Swedish platform I mentioned. So it's not like a real web, my own domain and stuff, but it's like a platform like what others are, like Artsy or something like that, but it's in Swedish. So, but there I have my prices listed. Yeah. So that's where I can always refer people to. If I get questions like, do you sell your art in a Facebook group? Someone sees my painting, then I always just send them the link to that platform.
You also have work to do on your website to upload. I'm so lazy. I just don't do this because my energy is so into the online courses. So I don't upload, I don't put prices. I had a shop, but I didn't do anything with it. So
I can imagine like for you with your courses and all work that takes. But for me, I'm actually quite good at doing that. As soon as I finish the painting, it's my little ritual. Number one, I put it on my platform with a price and a little story, and I write both in English and in Swedish, so everyone can understand. And then after I do that, that's the first thing I do. Then I post them, the paintings in all those little Facebook groups I was talking about. So, and I actually think it pays off to be active and update your website or your platform quite often, because I sold quite a lot of paintings through that platform, actually.
Very inspiring. And I wanted to ask you, do you feel sometimes uncomfortable? Do people say, oh, it's too expensive, I can't afford it? Or do you feel like comfortable saying the price? And
it happens. Sometimes people ask me, usually online on Facebook, and oh, I saw your painting in that group. How much is it? And then they try to they want it for cheaper, but then I just say no. You want my art, you have to pay. So, and that comes kind of naturally, I think, after a while, because I value my own work and my own time, and so they have to pay the price that I decided that the painting is worth. And if they don't want to, fine. I understand, like, you don't always have money, but then I want to find someone else who wants to pay the price the painting costs. But I can, of course, I can do some exceptions. Like, there was a family that came to my home like 2 summers ago or something, because they went to an exhibition I had here in Malmo a couple of years ago, and they saw my paintings there, but they didn't want to purchase anything right then and there, but they thought about it. They took my little, I have these little cards. How do you say that in English?
Business card.
Business card, yeah, of course, with my name and everything. They took that at the exhibition. And then they contacted me like a couple of months after the exhibition. Oh, we really like your art. Can we come and see them, your paintings? So I invited them to my home and to my little studio corner. And they ended up wanting to buy 2 paintings. Awesome. And then I gave them a little discount because they bought more than one. So that I can do. That I think is reasonable. But otherwise, I really think that people should respect you as an artist, and it's kind of, yeah, not okay to try to make a bargain on original art. So no.
I like that you are, having such confidence.
Yeah, I didn't in the beginning. I think I was as insecure as many of us are. But then after a while, when you notice that there are people out there who are actually ready to pay what your art is worth, then it's easier to say no to those people who want to make a bargain. And it doesn't happen often, actually, people who want to make a bargain. It's just like a couple of times. So yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. I think this is so helpful and so inspiring. And will it be okay with you, Nina, if more sister would want to ask you questions about it, to answer beneath in the post below?
Sure. You can just I would have loved that to have someone to ask when I first started out. So sure, if you have any questions, I will answer them all. Sure, I'm happy to help. Right. I think we should all help each other, because there are so many questions that most of us have. I think a lot of us have. So it's really good to talk about it. Can I just add one thing that I forgot to mention?
Ask you if you want to add anything.
Yeah. There are so many parts to this, so probably I'm going to forget something anyway, but I just thought about, that's something I just started, an email list where you send an email newsletter to people. That's something I was just procrastinating for the longest time because how do you do that? I don't know how to use MailChimp and all these programs. But then I just decided to, because I heard so many people talking about how important it is with email marketing. So I looked into it, and there are several providers that you can use. I didn't know anything about this before, but now I learned that there is MailChimp. That's the one I use, where you can like systemize sending emails instead of just using any old email service. You can like systemize it to, when your email list grows, it's easier to handle if you have like a company that's specialized in doing email marketing. So MailChimp is the one I use. There are other ones, MailerLite, I think one is called, and yeah, there are many. But MailChimp it's free. And what I do is that if I, for example, have an exhibition, I have a little list where people can sign up, write their email address and their name, and I add them to my list. And then I send an email newsletter like I think once every 2nd month, which is not that often. I should do it more often, probably like at least once a month. And to all those people that signed up for my list, there you can make a link as well that you can put in your social media with a sign up form so people can sign up for your list. So I send these emails, like once every 2nd month, with news about new paintings, with links to my website or the platform where they can buy them. And I write little stories about some selected new paintings. So that's really good. Then people might think, oh, but why do you need an email list? Why can't you just sell them through social media? And the reason for that, I realized, is that if Facebook all of a sudden one day closes down or Instagram disappears, that could happen. You don't decide that. Then you always own your email addresses. You always have those people who you know like your art and bought from you before. Like every time someone buys a painting from me, I ask them if I can add them to this email list.
Wow, you're good. You're so organized. I'm a secretary. I can't do all of these things.
Well, I thought about that email list for like 2 years before I finally did it, because I was thinking that it would be difficult to do it, like technically difficult. That's so, but it wasn't really. It's you can just watch, search on YouTube how to send an email, how to make an email list on MailChimp. You'll find all the information. YouTube is great for that. So
great.
And actually, I saw the first email newsletter I sent out, which wasn't really professional. That resulted in me selling a painting to England. Great. A woman in Eastbourne wanted a painting. Because
so inspiring.
I think she also found me probably in a Facebook group where I shared a painting of mine. That's how I find most of my people. So there you go. I think my motto is better done than perfect.
Better dumb than perfect.
Better done than perfect.
Better done.
Yeah. Better dumb than perfect. That would be a strange motto. No, what I mean is just do it. I mean, my email newsletter is it's not professional at all. It's not perfect, but it works. Yeah. I think people kind of like also when you're not so totally professional all the time, and
you're just a simple person, and not
you're just a simple person. No, exactly. I think because that's what I like myself. I don't like to see people who seem so perfect all the time, and like so
okay. So, sisters, we don't need to be perfect to sell our paintings.
No, we don't.
I really hope this conversation will inspire us to sell more of our paintings. I mean, someone is waiting to buy from us for sure. They just don't know.
I think so too. No, I think that there is a market for all kinds of art, like all paintings. Like now with the internet, we have the whole world, right? Exactly. As our market. So there is always someone who likes your art and is ready to pay for it. You just have to find them, and it takes a bit of work, but it's definitely not impossible.
Thank you so much, Nina. Thank you for your time and sharing all your secrets, your business secrets with us.
You're welcome, Michal. Thanks for inviting me. I hope this was helpful. And if anyone has any questions, just ask me in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for watching all the way to the end. Bye.
Bye.
I need to stop the recording.